ready?
All right, so Never in My Wildest Dreams. What is the concept behind this book?
Concept is you should dream big, dream large, go for what you want, but be prepared for that which you can't even conceive of yet. Because somehow, in your willingness to go forward, you're constantly advancing yourself. So you don't know the opportunities that are coming. So I guess it's really to be prepared for things that you never thought would happen to you, like my being here to receive the John F. Hogan Award. I never thought that an organization of news directors with my record would vote any honor for me. So it tells you what we can do to ourselves, by limiting how far we go. And on the other side of it is that there were things that did happen because I dreamed. And I was trying to give that some validity and some life. Because I dreamed, I was able to get to my edges. And those edges I refer to is that space between your dreams and your reality. So it was to prepare me for the unexpected.
Being a minority in the field, what can we as minorities do to better position ourselves for growth within the industry? Because it's kind of hard to move up. You have to start from the bottom, but how do you position yourself, or is it just all about timing?
Timing, I can't tell you how important that is. As to when you're trying to make the move, and that's why you have to be prepared and be mentally ready for whatever may come next. But the whole idea of being prepared for addressing just one group's problems, I think, is undergoing a evolution right now. Because the promise of America is that we would all be equal in one way or the other, skills, talent, love, whatever. And so when you're doing that as a journalist and you're looking from the outside and you're trying to capture that thing that every journalist does, and that's the human feeling behind whatever the story is, whether it's about a murderer and what made him what he did with his student, or it's a lovely little child that's more adorable than anybody could expect, you're trying to get the essence of what that is. So it is this constant effort to try to broaden yourself, and to show people, when I came in, suppose that I had been assigned only to do and only to be informed about the black people who've been left out and that I was there to represent. But I learned soon on that my audience was made up of people from all walks of life. So I took my experience and tried to share it in a way they could understand it and have sympathetic feelings for it. Too long an answer for a television interview. But I'll keep going.
We can edit.
Yeah, but I think the business of starting from wherever you are, being willing to learn about whatever is needed, the flexibility of that, to me, is the only thing one can count on in today's world that could take you forward. Because look in my lifetime, what's changed. Not only did we go to people that are brown, we have people of all nationalities. We have so many immigrants. We have so many people coming in with their own cultures that, if I were reading a newscast today, I doubt I could get through it because I wouldn't be able to pronounce all of the names.
Oh, yeah. So what would you like for people to take away from this book when they get done with the last page?
I would hope they'd have more confidence in their own ability to achieve whatever they set out to do. And that's why I decided I should tell the story, because long ago somebody gave me a line that stuck with me. It says, nobody really likes a victim. They may have sympathy for them, they may aid them, but they don't like them because they're so afraid that they'll be in that position. So they shy away and don't give them all of what they should in terms of their energy. So I have tried to put myself forward as someone at least willing to try whatever it took to accomplish whatever job I was given. And that was my idea, and I wanted to not only say I came from this poor background and no family and no college and all of these other things, but at the back of the book are the chapters of stories that I've covered, the people I've met, the heights that I managed to get myself to, in spite of all that stuff back there, because I was willing to be out there that I'm asking everybody else to do.
Yes. All right, my last question. What would you tell your 9-year-old self? If you could tell yourself one thing to yourself at 9 years old.
I hate to be boring, but it's the same, because when I was 9 or 10, I wanted to be a teacher, and I thought those were aspirations that were so far above anything that I could think of, because in the black community, the people that you love were the teachers because they gave you knowledge. So that's what I wanted to be. And the idea that what teachers do best is communicate to us children the desire to do well, the desire to be the best we can. And I said, what other better way to do that than to be in a position to put that on the air and to have, thousands of people get that same kind of information if you can communicate to them. So I drifted into writing first, and then radio, and then television, and just kept building blocks.
Yes, you have built some blocks. But yeah, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking with me. I've been looking forward to it.
Well, Jennifer, all I can tell you is that if I were a reporter and I came across me and I gave you those long answers, I'd go back, because I used to have to transcribe them. I would be real upset.
Oh, it's 2013. It's easier to edit video now.
I know.
My mentor, Mike Betcher, he's an ABC correspondent, but he also has been working on Hornet's Nest, which is a documentary that's based on soldiers in Iraq. And he was telling me, he was just like, I don't mind listening to your interviews, because I've been covering like undocumented students at the universities and going into schools, because Oklahoma is starting to become heavily populated with undocumented Latinos. But one of the things I've asked questions, and I let people just talk. Now, 20 years ago, you couldn't do that. You're like, no, I need to get to the source.
That's right.
Mike will be like, Jennifer, I don't really mind, because I know that we're living in an age to where you know exactly
where to go.
What you're looking for. You know how to edit it. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
well, sometimes I got to tell you, in the old days, they'd give us only 150 feet of film. We couldn't capture a story in 150 feet of film. It wasn't going to get done, because they just first place, they didn't want to pay for the film, but in the second place, they didn't want to pay for your time transcribing and editing it. So that was one way of controlling what you did. Yeah.
do you mind getting a photograph of us?
Yeah.